The next directive is ngFor. So I'll just go down here, add a new heading, ngFor, or let's add a horizontal line too here. And ngFor, as you can see, it also has this star, though that is only text here, not the directive itself. And next I want to have an unordered list here. And there I will have a list item or multiple list items. In the TypeScript file of that component, I'll add a new property called items, which is just an array. And in this array, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. And I want to loop through those items and output them. Also, to style this correctly, I added a white space. So that's my array. Now in the HTML file, I can add star ngFor to tell Angular, hey, I want to loop. And then the syntax is let item of items. This tells Angular to loop through all the items and assign each individual item to a local variable called item. And then I can use this variable to output it here with string interpolation. So this item variable here is no property defined in the TypeScript file. It's nowhere to be found here. However, it can be found here where I assign the value of the current iteration of this items array. So if this is saved and this page reloads, you'll see these 5 list items here, 5 individual bullet points. Therefore, this was indeed replicated a couple of times.
Sometimes you also need access to the index of the current iteration. So going back to the code, let's say I not only wanted to print the item name, but also something like index and then, well, the current index. The cool thing is Angular 2 gives you access to the current index, and you can fetch it by adding a semicolon at the end of your ngFor logic here, still inside the quotation marks though. And then you can get it by assigning it to a variable, for example I, let I, and then you set this equal to index. Index here, of course, is a keyword Angular 2 notices or recognizes when having such a ngFor loop, which stores the, well, index of the current iteration. So I could then output the index here, I in this case, since I'm binding it to I. And if I save this and go back to my application, you now see I also get the index here. That, of course, can be useful in a couple of circumstances where you need to configure certain parts of your view, of your template, depending on the index.